Card number 66, Mel Parnell, whose uniform doesn't look like it fits him very well. It's card number 66, so that must mean that it is session 66 of Card Room Live. Good evening, everybody. I'll be checking the comments shortly, so if you're here, leave a comment, introduce yourself if you're new, and if you're not new, roll call, let us know that you're here, because this is not a show. This is a hangout for fellow vintage collectors. So if this is worth anybody's time, it's because of the conversation in the chat, not necessarily what I'm saying. Sometimes we have guests. Nothing planned for tonight, but I'll put the link in the chat if anybody wants to jump on. Most of the time we waste time looking at and talking about cardboard, and through it all, we try to make it time well wasted. So good evening to everybody. Happy Sunday of November to everyone. Baseball is over. Congratulations to the Texas Rangers. Thank you for finishing off the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Phillies couldn't do it, so somebody had to. And now baseball goes to sleep. I know some people are counting down the days for spring training. I'm not. I like winter. I like taking a break from baseball. I like thinking of the baseball fields covered in snow because it makes spring training all that much more special when it finally comes back around. Besides, I'm very much still steeped in baseball anyway. It just happens to be vintage baseball, not current baseball. But there's plenty of baseball to talk about. It's just going to be of the crusty cardboard variety, not necessarily modern. Although I'll keep my eye on the hot stove stuff. So those of you that are listening to this later, maybe you're going to work, maybe you're coming home from work, maybe you're sorting cards, looking at eBay, walking the dog, sitting on the john, wondering if, yes, I'm going to pick on him again, Alan's Cards will ever make another video, considering how many awesome cards he has. Whatever you might be doing, I hope you get something out of it. And I hope it passes the time. If you ever want to get in touch or have future ideas, or not future ideas, maybe you have future ideas, but maybe you just have ideas for future sessions, you can email me at bowman53channel@gmail.com. You can find that information in the description below, along with my Instagram account, bowman53_Alex, and my Twitter account, 1953bowmancolor. All that info is in the description below. So, yeah, what's going on in the comments? Let's take a look and see who's here. There's a bunch of people in here. Orlando is here. Hello, Orlando. Mike, the sports history collector. Reese is here. Was just talking to Reese a few moments ago, and a couple of these guys. Jason. Hello, all. Let's talk some cards. I am definitely up for talking cards. I'll encourage those of you that are in the chat. If you have any ideas for topics, if you have cards that you want to look up, maybe cards that you've been thinking about, cards that you have questions about, cards that you think are cool, that perhaps we haven't talked about before, or maybe we have and you want to talk about it some more, I encourage you guys to drop some ideas for topics in the chat. I have some stuff I want to talk about tonight, but I'm always looking for ideas. So please, Jason and everybody else, if you had any ideas, drop them in here. What's up, Rick? Rick Acosta's here. Dodger Card Collector. Don is here. Let the drinking commence from Don's Fuel of the Dreams cards. Hammer 44 is here. Good evening. Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. I hope you're having a great weekend as well, sir. Dan, I have not had a chance to watch your Hank Aaron video that you did with The Card Story, who often is in here as well, but looking forward to checking out that video. Reindeer Studios is here, and he's already poking at Don, so that's a good sign. It's a healthy sign. It gives me an opportunity to get a little bit of water. That's right. Orlando says that vintage baseball is year-round. That's how I operate. I think that's how we all operate Jason says, I'm a White Sox fan, so I'm fine with the break. Right. Um, yeah, it's nice to take a break from the torture, right? Victor Negron, what's up, Victor? Hot stove season is sometimes almost as fun as the real season. Yeah, if your team is like on the cusp of making much needed moves, it can be a pretty exciting time. I remember the off season when I was wondering whether the Phillies were going to get Bryce Harper, for example. That was a very fun off season. Mookie Chilson is here. What's up, man? Mike, Sports History Collector, says, I was hoping that the World Series wouldn't go into November this year. Almost got my wish. Yeah. Um, that's one of the things I remember hearing about early in the postseason. People were complaining about the format, and some people were saying the 5-game series is not. I don't know what the word is. Like the 5-game series doesn't work. It's not satisfactory. We need to change it. Let's make it a 7-game series. And then it's like, well, when are we going to finish this? And after Thanksgiving, I mean, uh, at some point or another, you got to end the season, right? There he is, the card story. Zombie Collector's here. What's up, Jason? It's about to go down. I don't know what's about to go down, but I appreciate that you're here, man. And if you want to hop on here in a second, I'm going to put the link in here if you want to jump on. Jason, I'm loving the Redman cards as of late. Picked up the 1955 Nellie Fox. Cool. I'll be honest. Redman for me is hit or miss. But when they hit, they're great. Let's take a look at the Nellie Fox real quick. I see some other comments, but I'm going to show this real quick. Because if somebody mentions a card, we got to go to eBay and look at the card. 1955 Nellie Fox, Nelson Fox. Got a bunch of White Sox fans in this community, and Nellie Fox is a key name in White Sox history. This is a great looking card. Yeah, really cool. Hit or miss for me because sometimes the artwork for Redman is downright creepy. I'm sorry, but it is sometimes. But this one is a great looking card. So we can just look at Nellie Fox for a little while. What's up, Rocket Rick? Yes. I got to check that out too. I'm behind on my watch list lately. Let's see. Mookie, Dan and friends have been doing outstanding player collector videos. Yes. We are definitely talking hockey, Jason. I'm also starting to really dig the 1940 play ball set. It doesn't get much love. Everyone gravitates to the 41 set. Yes. That is most definitely true. And you got to look around on YouTube a little bit, but you'll find 40 play ball here and there, and they're definitely fans of it, of that set. Cheers to creepy artwork. Yeah, that's a fun potential PC, Doug. And if anybody is planning to do a creepy artwork PC, just let me know. I've got some potential candidates for that. The Menendez brothers rookie card. We absolutely can. I'm literally typing in the Menendez brothers rookie card just to see what comes up. And Google is not being kind to my search. Oh, yes. Sorry, now I'm just going down this, now I'm just going down this rabbit hole of the Menendez brothers. Thank you so much, Jason. That's the Mark Jackson card, right? I wonder if I could type in Mark Jackson. Yes. I was hoping I could just type in Mark Jackson and the Menendez would just show up. Um, Mark Jackson, who I always think of as an Indiana Pacer, but of course he started off with the Knicks, I guess. Yeah, there you go. Just for you, Jason. Just for you. Now look at how much stuff has happened since I since I started looking up this card. Got mine with the tab still, right? So that's always the other thing with the Red Man cards is like with tab, without tab. And the last time we talked about this, I said, "Oh, who cares?" And everyone's like, "No, it has to have the tab. It must have the tab." And it was a bit of controversy. Well, there you go. There's some praise for Dan and Orlando's Cuban Players video. Definitely have to check that out. Rick, did anyone notice that Alex is 2 subs short of 1,000? Yes. Um, I noticed. I noticed yesterday, I think, or the day before. And so, Rick, we didn't set this up, but I appreciate you saying this because this is the perfect segue for me to talk about this. I see some comments, so let me get through these comments and then I want to talk about this. Peter B is here. What's up, Peter B? There we go. The card story. Orlando, Stacy, and Hunter, tough acts to follow. We did our best. Just happy Dan got his Aaron rookie card. Absolutely. Jason looking at the 40 Bobby Dorr play ball. We'll come back to this if we can. Ray's excited because the Eagles just beat the Cowboys. I had my eye on that. There's Jesse. Jesse the mailman, think Blue 77. Jesse the mailman because he delivers with Photoshop stuff and all kinds of stuff. Let's see. I wonder if the Menendez brothers do TTM from prison. That is a great question. I have that card too. Courtside knocks after the horror. Stukes, baseball cards and curiosities is here. What's up? And Henry S is here. It's like old times. Mike, you and me against everybody else about when it comes to the tabs. What's up? A's fan Jim is here. Mike, when Alex gets to 1,000, I'm subscribed just to be a smart ass. I love it. I'll know it's you, Mike, and I'll smile. Let's see. Dan's Al Rosen video was the best. Red Man with tab, higher street beer without. Anyway, okay, so yeah, I am what am I? Two subs away from 1,000. So I thought about it for not a lot of time. I didn't think too hard about this. But I decided that, hey, when you reach 1,000 subscribers, it's a number, right? And it's just a number, but it's a pretty big number. And it's been a long time coming. I've been at this for, 5 years now? No, nearly 6 years. And it's been a slow and steady thing. So I decided, I got to do something to mark the occasion. I decided I'm not going to do a contest because I'm just too darn lazy. And besides, there's a lot of contests. There are always a lot of contests going on. And I'm not trying to add to your guys' list of videos to make. So instead, I'm going to take the easy way out. And I was thinking, you know what? I've got this thing going with Card Room Live. Why don't I just use that? So whenever it happens, it's not gonna be today. So even if like somehow you guys get me over 1,000 right now, we're not gonna do this today, but I'll do it sometime in the future. Um, I have a bunch of prizes set aside, and I'm gonna come up with some questions, and we're just gonna do trivia. And I don't know when it's gonna be, but whenever that time happens and I have the trivia questions worked out, um, we'll have just on the spot a Card Room Live 1,000 subscribers giveaway thing, and I'll have some trivia questions. They'll be baseball related, of course. They'll be card related. They'll be vintage related, most likely. There might be some stuff that's related to my channel, but not really a whole lot of that. And I have some prizes pulled aside. So just to tease the event, I'll share with you guys some of the prizes that will be on the block, I guess, to win. So the first one is a exclusive pack made by Topps of the Twitter account Super 70s Sports. So those of you that are on Twitter and have been on Twitter for a while most likely know about this Twitter handle. This is one of the greatest Twitter accounts in existence. And I don't know the whole story behind this, but clearly Topps coordinated with the guy that runs this Twitter account and had him design a series of cards that Topps released in these packs. So this is not a sealed pack for people that are like obsessed with sealed packs. This is not sealed. I did open it up. I took out all the cards and I bent the corners and I chewed on them. So it's not mint in box, but there are some cool cards in here. I'm not going to get the whole thing out, but you can see there's a cool familiar face on the front of the pack. And that's a cool design. So what's fun about this is that it's a bunch of vintage players, throwback players, but there's also modern players in here too. And there's always a chance that there's an autograph in there. I'm not going to say if there is or isn't an autograph, but there might be. So that's one of the giveaways. Another giveaway is this 1953 to 55 Dormand postcard of one of my favorite guys from the 53 Bowman set, Chico Carrasquel of the Chicago White Sox. This is a classic postcard set that I know many of you guys know about. Some of you guys have cards from this set. It featured a number of Yankees players, Dodger players, White Sox, and I think that might be it. And the guy that shot these photographs was a photographer based out of New York, and all of them were shot in Yankee Stadium. I'm pretty sure they're all in Yankee Stadium. And some of the bigger names would be Mantle, Campanella, Ali Reynolds, I think, is in there. I'm trying to think who else might be. Carl Furillo. Anyway, there's a bunch of great players. So I'll be giving away this. So any White Sox fans in here, this might be something where you want to be ready to go with the trivia question where that one comes up. And next up, we got a few more prizes here. Reese, if you're still here, Reese was literally just before I started the live stream, randomly asked about this book, and I laughed because I was like, well, this is a book that I'm about to give away. So I think Reese went and bought the book um, because he was worried about a gold rush on this book. But um, somebody can get this book for free. Or Reese, if you win this book, maybe you can do a return with Amazon. It's The Soul of Baseball, a road trip through Buck O'Neill's America. And this was written by Joe Posnanski. And I'll just read you a little bit of the back of the book here. When legendary Negro League player Buck O'Neill asked Joe Posnanski how he fell in love with baseball, the renowned sports columnist was inspired by the question. He decided to spend the 2005 baseball season touring the country with 94-year-old O'Neill in hopes of rediscovering the love that first drew him to the game. So, I've read this book. It's a great book. It's interesting because it's obviously written by a journalist, and it's written in the present tense, in the sense that he's on this road trip essentially with Buck O'Neill, and they're going to baseball games, but they're also going to like conventions and events, and Buck O'Neill's meeting with all kinds of people. But along the way, Posnanski talks about his past, obviously in the Negro Leagues, and just Buck O'Neill. Anybody that's watched the Ken Burns documentary knows this guy, and you kind of fall in love with this guy. This is one of the best interview subjects in that movie, in that documentary. And so, this is a great read to get into his experience in the game. So this will be another giveaway. All right. We're not done yet, guys, but wait, there's more. I'm also going to give away, if anybody's like joining late, these are all the prizes for the eventual trivia night that we're going to have for my 1,000 subscriber milestone, I guess. So I don't know when we're doing this. We're not doing this tonight because I don't have any of the trivia questions figured out. But one of the biggest prizes is going to be the entire baseball documentary set on DVD by Ken Burns, including the 10th inning. And here's Babe on the other side. For those of you that don't want to look at the Red Sox and would prefer to look at the Yankees. Yeah, good stuff in here, right? So I'm sure a lot of you guys have this already. And so if you have it, then just don't answer this trivia question when it comes up. Give somebody who doesn't have it a chance to get it, because everybody in this chat should have this in some form or another. I mean, VHS or DVD or Blu-ray or streaming or whatever. I mean, this is like the third version of this thing I have. And so I'm happy to get it to somebody who doesn't have it, because this is something that I feel like we all watch a lot over the years. I pop this in every now and then throughout the years. I'm sure in a couple months here, when it's in the middle of winter, I'll pop in an episode just to kind of get back into the groove of things. You can get great ideas from this documentary about collecting. You can sort of reignite your excitement about a certain period of the history of the game with this doc. So this will be another giveaway. And one more giveaway prize. It's a card that means a lot to me, but I already have it. So I'm going to give this one to somebody else. It's this guy who's leaping in the air. I'm going to give this to somebody who answers a trivia question correctly. Now it's raw, so those of you grading people out there, you'll be a little scared. I'm gonna pull this out of the. It's raw. I'm not afraid to hold the card, and you can see it's got some creases. You know, it's gonna get an SGC 1 or a PSA 1. Um, but honestly, it's a beautiful card, and it's a beautiful card in any condition. You know, I can be a real stickler about condition, but only because it's fun to like try to find the right card, the card that you like the most. Um, but ultimately, I think we all know you can appreciate any card, and this is a card that I can appreciate in any condition. And the thing about it is, like, um, when I'm showing it here, the uh, the creases and stuff, I'm sure, are pretty pronounced. But when I'm not looking at it in this bright light, when I'm just looking at it, you know, without a magnifying glass or like glaring light, this card looks beautiful. And again, this is a card where I hope whoever wins it doesn't have it, because um, this is a card that is a special card to own. And this is a card where, unfortunately, for collectors, prices continue to go up. And this is a card that can get pricey. And it's always been more pricey than other cards, say in this set, but this is one of those cards where I feel like collectors should be able to afford this card, and it's one of those cards that sometimes can be tricky to get a hold of. So anyway, I hope whoever wins this card is somebody who doesn't have it and really appreciates it, because this is a great card to have. So that's definitely the biggest giveaway that will be happening. So anyway, that's going to be fun. And the best part about it is it'll just be live, and whatever happens, happens. And uh, it'll be a good time. So I've totally not paid attention at all to what you guys have been saying. Did Alex sign the cards in the box? Yes, and the value just plummeted immediately. Like I signed them, they all say Alex's card. Let's see. Yes, Chico. Chico's my favorite. It would be a lot cooler if I said there was an autograph. I mean, I can put my autograph on there just to um um just to make it the real deal. Let's see. Chuck. Chuck, I got a story about Chuck that I'm going to tell in just a moment. Prestige Collectibles, what's up? Really? Okay, well now, if that's true, then Mike, Sports History Collector, you got to unsubscribe. Let's see. And I'm sorry, I'm always forgetting your name, Robert. Let's see. Too generous? Okay, you know what? I'm going to take it back. I'm not giving this away. No, I'm just kidding. Um, yes, if you want the trivia questions ahead of time, it is an open notes trivia session. So you can go on Google real quick and look around. So it is open notes, um, but it's going to be pretty hard to cheat because I don't even know what the questions are yet. So. Um, What's up? When's the giveaway happening? I don't know. If you guys are not lying and I actually crossed 1K, yeah, it looks like it just happened. It'll be next weekend probably. Next Sunday at 8. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it, man. Keeping it real. Okay, so I want to tell my Chuck Northside guy story. Chuck, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but I won't steal your thunder. So, some of you guys know, and those of you that know, you must also keep your mouth shut. I was out at an antique mall in Savannah yesterday, and the antique mall's name is Picker Joe's, like Picker Jam S, but it's called Picker Joe's. Um, and this is a great place. If anybody here is ever in Savannah, reach out. Let me know that you're here, and we can get together. But that's a place I definitely recommend going to. It's a lot of fun. Um, it's an antique mall, but it's like, to me, it's like unlike any antique mall I've been to. It has such a great like energy to it. It's such a great atmosphere. It's really well organized, um, and well run, and great vendors, good stuff coming in and out all the time. And they even have an ice cream shop and coffee place inside the antique mall. It's just really, really like the people who own that place really put a lot of love and attention into how it's run. Like, you actually want to hang out there, as opposed to some places where it's like you want to look around and you want to try to find something, but you don't really want to spend much time there. This place, you like don't want to leave. So I was there with my girlfriend. We liked going there on occasion, and happened to be walking through. And like I said, the stuff that turns over quite a bit. And this one area had a display case that they had taken everything out and put a bunch of new stuff in. And it was a series of display cases that had programs like sports programs from games with corresponding tickets. And I won't spoil it because you got to wait for whenever Chuck does a video. But I saw a program and a corresponding ticket, and I was like, that's awesome. I took a picture and sent it to some people. But then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know what? This makes me think of Chuck, Northside guy, because Chuck, I know, has recently got into collecting ticket stubs that go with important games and important moments in baseball. And so I sent it to Chuck and said, hey, just came across this. And by the time I had sent it to him and whatever, I had left already, and we started talking. He said he was interested. I went back today. They still had it, and I was pretty confident that they were still going to have it, because this place, I mean, people like going to this store, but I don't get the impression that there's a lot of like collectors of like sports memorabilia in the area, or if they are, they're not going to this place a lot, because there's a lot of sports stuff here that is not getting gobbled up too quickly. So anyway, I was pretty confident it was going to be there, and it was. And then I went back, worked out everything with Chuck, and was able to get it. And so I've got it, and we'll be sending it to Chuck this week. And so, whether Chuck, whenever he gets to, you know, decide to make a video about it or whatever, is up to him. But it was really cool that it's a little reminder that in this community, there's there's this thing that happens whether you realize it or not. You start to get to know people, you start to get to know what they collect, you start to see their thought processes and how they're collecting changes over time, and it kind of sticks with you. You don't even realize it until you're in that moment where you see something and it kind of jumps out at you. And I don't know, it was just cool that I was able to like have that moment where I was like, oh, that makes me think of Chuck, and that it turned out to be something that he actually wanted. Um, was a great moment. So I'm sure those of you that have had that happen before, whether you were actually with somebody, maybe like at the National or something, where you get to find something that you know somebody else was interested in, or whether it was something like this where it's like, Chuck's in Chicago and I'm in Savannah, but that we can make this connection for something for his collection, I think is, to me, one of the kind of unexpected but really fun parts of the hobby. Don, I'm so glad that you're working on your homework. I do approve. However, I'm skeptical that you've got multitasking skills, and I'm worried that your like homework is suffering as a result. So if you need to turn this off to improve your grade, I think we all understand. Um, let's see. Henry, I love this. I love this description. Overpriced Goodwill and Hobby Lobby. Yeah, that's a really good description of a lot of we have a lot of antique malls that are like that, unfortunately too. And it's funny because we fall in the trap of like going to those and thinking somehow we convince ourselves like maybe this time it's going to be better, and it never is. But this one that I was just talking about, is totally worth it. Love you too, Chuck. Um, dude, if you're ever here, and I will say, this is always a problem in antique stores, I think, is that if they do have baseball cards, which is always, I mean, to me, the expert on this is Brian B. Roth, because he kind of does this a lot and has a lot of experience with it. But for me, in the limited experience I have with it, it's like, first of all, they rarely, if ever, do have baseball cards, and if they do, it's slim pickings and the prices are silly. Um, so this place, there's a booth that's set up that has just baseball cards, but um, at least for me, I don't see anything in the case that I'm particularly interested in. There might be something in there that somebody else would be after, but um, yeah, I don't know. It's hard at antique stores to find decent baseball cards. Let's see. Dan, there's a video you should definitely watch, Alex. It's the Four Collectors with a bunch of old guys. Oh yes, Don, Chris, Mike from Canadian Cards, and Keating. Yes, I did watch that video. I didn't watch all of it because I was in the middle of watching it, and then I had to run to work or something. But I meant to comment on it. Yeah, the get off my lawn video, that was fantastic. Absolutely. Don had to step away during the video, and someone joked he was kicking kids off his lawn. Old guys rule. Well, hey, I'm gonna put the live link in here. I can't really stay for more than 20 more minutes, guys. But if anybody wants to hop in the StreamYard uh, for a brief visit, the link is in here. Otherwise, we can look at cards. If anybody has any cards they want to look up, I'm happy to hop on eBay and pull up some listings. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, and I totally have blanked on it. I lost a subscriber. I'm back down to 999. So Jesse and Mike, I'm not sure who it was, but thank you guys, keeping me down to earth. Um, really, I've never done that. I would like to do that just to say that I did, but I can imagine shopping for cards around Cooperstown has got to be silly. I really want to go to Cooperstown, not for the baseball cards, but for the museum, obviously. But it would be fun to see all the sort of touristy things that they have going on. And more good news, Doug made another video. Yes, he did. It was entertaining. It was not as entertaining as his little kids bullying each other video, but few videos are as entertaining as that one. Jason says, shows are my favorite for card shopping. A big one in Chicago in 2 weeks. And Mitchell plans to be there, which is cool. Always cool for you guys to be able to meet up. I wish we had a card show in my area. Well, I'm just totally ran out of steam. I was just talking. I feel like I just talked for an hour. But it wasn't an hour. It was 45 minutes. Zach Wheeler won the Gold Glove Award. That's cool. See, I've still got my eye on the Phillies. One eye that's half closed, but it's still seeing what the Phillies are up to. No, it's all good, man. I can handle it. I can handle it being at 999. I've been under 1,000 subscribers for 6 years. I can handle it for a little while longer. Reindeer Studios showing some restraint. Yeah, I think I'm done collecting for the remainder of the year. I'm focusing on Christmas stuff, presents and family stuff. I'm still looking at stuff, but trying to hold back on getting stuff. Don, how's your homework going? Or have you actually signed off? There's Carlisle. What's up? Speaking of 1,000, they stopped play when the first Atlanta Falcon rushed for 1,000 yards. There was a big celebration. Then he lost 2 yards the following play, and the season ended. Well, that sounds about right. Mookie Chilson. Roberto Clemente was on 3,000 hits for a minute. The official score took it away back to 2,999, and then he doubled in his next at bat. Well, here's hoping that I can summon the inspiration of Clemente. I'm back at 1,000. I just checked. Thank you, Roberto. Probably won't buy anything until Strongsville, or at least that's the plan. Do you have something, Scott? Do you have something in mind? You don't have to tell us what it is, but do you have something in mind that you're gearing towards? Yeah, I'm tentatively planning on being at the National next year. I'm very excited because I've only been once, and I went in 2019, and it was a blast. And I was still pretty new to the YouTube community at the time, but had such a great time. And some people, like I knew some people going in, but those people, I dare I say, became like good friends by the time that National ended. And I think that happens to everybody. Everybody goes, and you especially when you're new, you kind of know some people, and then by the end of that show, like you feel like you really connect with people. Um, and I'm just bummed that I haven't been to a show since. So really, really hoping to go next year, because I mean I know way more people now than I did when I first went, and I had a great time the first time, so I'm sure I'll have an even better time this time, and it's going to be fun. One of two cards. Okay, I appreciate you keeping it mysterious. I'm eyeing one big card to purchase after the holidays. Dot dot dot. All right, I like all this teasing you guys are doing. Mike, sports history collector. I still have one more card and magazine I want to get before I do my Dodger video. Okay, cool. And Mike, I was actually going to ask you about this. Once you do your video, let's also have you do a card room live session. And it can be different from your video. Like do your video your way, and then let's do a card room live where we just talk about the Dodgers, because that would be fun. Cool, Jason. 55 Satchel. That's on my radar too. I'm not planning on getting it anytime soon, but that's definitely a card I'd like to get, and that's always a great card to get. Dan, thinking ahead. Already have a hotel reservation for the National. Smart. What's up, Chris from Missouri? Strongville is going to be heavy with content creators. For sure. Looks like Rocket Rick is planning to do the same thing. Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys do it, but every now and then I'll purposefully save up over a period of months for a specific card, and it's a nice little routine that I think is pretty healthy, which is like patience and having a goal in mind and slowly working towards it, and then the reward of achieving it, executing it over time. It's a really good habit to try to foster. And you know there's to me there's like lots of really potentially healthy, and also, let's face it, potentially dangerous things that can develop in this hobby in terms of habits. And one of the more positive ones for me is like setting a goal and patiently trying to achieve it. Oh, okay. 2001 tops traded gold, Pujols and Ichiro. Um, Scott, I saw that you just subscribed to my channel again, so I appreciate you pushing me over the hump with your second YouTube account. And anybody else, because you can't always see who did that, or like who subscribed and who didn't. But anybody else that like subscribed to me a second time with a second account, that's really adorable. Thanks so much. Yes, you are. I always knew you were. It's all downhill from here. Yeah, who else got gold gloves? I just saw Chris Wheeler, not Chris Wheeler, Phillies broadcaster, Zach Wheeler. Uh, who else got it? Oh, let's see. Any surprises here? Cabrian Hayes from the Pirates for third base. Christian Walker, first base. Nico Horner from the Cubs, second base. Dansby Swanson, shortstop. Gabriel Moreno, catcher. Zach Wheeler, Phillies. Left field, Ian Happ, Cubs. Center field, Brenton Doyle. Right field, Tatis. which is pretty amazing considering he was a shortstop. Ha-Sung Kim. Nathaniel Lowe, first base, Rangers. Second base, Andres Jimenez, Guardians. Third base, Matt Chapman. Shortstop, Anthony Volpe. Yankees. Catcher, Jonah Heim. Bunch of Rangers in here. And Guardians. Stephen Kwan, left field. Jose Barrios, pitcher. Yeah, a bunch of Rangers. Must be why they won the World Series. He's totally playing reindeer games. I love it. Kyle Schwarber, he won best defense at the did he win? Did he win? He ever win? No, he won best defense at the on deck circle. That's where he won best defense. He was really good at stopping foul balls. Yep. Cleveland has a couple. Yeah, he was a finalist. And Reese, even though it's painful to talk about, he made some incredible plays at second in the postseason. I don't know, Rick. And if Don wasn't busy trying to do his homework, he could tell us, but he's a bit preoccupied right now. Yeah, I have no idea because I wasn't really paying attention to how good or not good he was out there. I mean, makes me wonder what the National League right field situation is across the league. All right, guys. Probably time for me to wrap this up. So, a reminder, next Sunday, even if all of you guys unsubscribe from me and I drop below 1,000, I'll still do this giveaway with all this stuff. Chico, Tops, Buck O'Neill, Ken Burns, Pee Wee Reese. All these guys are coming at you next weekend with some trivia questions. It'll be fun. And I want to talk a little bit about getting to 1,000. But until then, thanks everybody. It was a lot of fun chatting with you guys, catching up. And if you like this live stream about nothing, please take a moment and give it a thumbs up because it does matter. And if you're a little crazy and you want to watch previous cardboard sessions, you can find them on a playlist on my channel called Card Room Live. They're all unlisted, but you can find them on the playlist. And again, if you have ideas for future sessions, please reach out. You can find me at bowman53channel@gmail.com. Send me an email. All right, guys, have a great night, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Take care.